All right. So for those of you that know me or don't know me, my name is Kelvin Verrett, and I'm a real estate broker that's currently working with eXp Realty as an associate broker. I have been in the business for 20 years. My background is I own my own escrow, mortgage, and real estate company in the early 2000s. Of course, the crash came and changed things around for independent brokers. So I decided to close down my shop and affiliate myself with other companies that were doing well. In my closing down my shop, I spent almost 8 years with Keller Williams Real Estate in Palmdale. Very successful there, selling real estate, building teams and so forth. In fact, I am currently retired vested with Keller Williams, the Big Red, meaning that I get what we call a profit share check from them each month for the rest of my life. Since then, I retired, and that means that I stopped working, stopped selling real estate, and I did what God had called me to do. I'm a preacher, so if you start preaching to you a little bit, don't get mad with me. But I believe in helping and building and empowering people is what I do. So a little bit last year, I got a chance to reactivate my real estate career, so I affiliated myself with eXp. In fact, eXp was very instrumental in me deciding to go back into real estate. Now, done really well in real estate, 20-year veteran, and when I seen the company I'm with, I was like, okay, well, let me go down and get back into real estate. It looks like a good support system, and that's where I am. But today's call is not about my company, nor about my brand, but it's about coaching and empowering you. So what I want to do today is I want to introduce you guys to the real estate selling power system. Now, some of you guys may already know about this, may have been through the selling system already, but we're going to go through it. And this system has been around for over 30 years. It was actually developed by Daniel Penley, and he's a coach, he's a motivator, he's everybody. Look, he could be your father. I mean, he could be the one that's cheering you on, and he could be the one that's disciplining you at the same time. But one thing I know that Daniel has been very instrumental in my re-engaging in real estate. His coaching system, I've been through it 3 times already, and this is probably my 4th time, plus my personal study. But I really believe in the system, and it's not about me, nor it's about Daniel. It's about the system that has trained over 500,000 agents to successfully sell real estate. So I believe that you guys being here today is actually going to be an opportunity for you to grow your business beyond your wildest dreams and not have the headache that a lot of people have when it comes to selling real estate because they don't have a system or do not have a proven plan. So my goal today is to lay before you a proven plan that will allow you to grow your business and make it scalable in the future. One of the things that we say here in Real Estate Selling Power is that we have to build a repeatable system. They say systematize, duplicate, and then delegate. So the things that I hope you will gain out of this teaching session or this course that we're going to teach is a system that will allow you to be repeatable and that will allow you to scale your business beyond your wildest dreams. That is my goal for you, and that's what I hopefully that you will get out this time with me. Now, Daniel right now is off. I think he's doing a radio show or something like that, but he is the founder of the system. It's a great system, and this is what it is about. All successful agents, real estate brokers and agents have a system that they use to leverage your time. So hopefully today that you will have your books. If you guys don't have your book yet, I'm going to be working right out of the book, Real Estate Selling Power. If you don't have your book, then if you're part of the team World Cappers, then you can get a chance to be part of, get the material for free. In the event that you're not part of the World Cappers group, you can go to worldcappers.com, Daniel's website, and you can actually purchase the material yourself without being part of the team. It's free for the team, but for all visitors and so forth that would like to get the system, it's purchasable. But this coaching call is free to you. So hopefully you are ready to learn some concepts that some things you know, you're going to be reintroducing some things that you have heard but not currently applying. But then we're going to stretch you by giving you some tools and some calls to actions that's going to force you to do things a little bit different, and hopefully you will get a chance to do that. Okay, so what I want you to do is, for to see me clearly, put yourself on what we call speaker view, and then that way you'll see the slides I'm going to put up behind me on the side of me pretty easily. Okay, so speaker view will be the place where you want to be. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand and I'll do my best to answer your questions as best as possible. You can throw something in the chat box. Sally Dodd, she's my business development manager. She's on the call. She will be fielding all the questions for me, working with the chat box. So you can reach out to her if you have any needs, something I mentioned in the teaching today, a tool or something that you would need. Just put in the chat box, and then Sally will reply back to you, and we'll make sure that you get what it is that you need. So let's start off with the fundamentals about this real estate selling power system that's been around for over 30 years. Over 500,000 agents have successfully taken this course. In fact, I was speaking to one of the agents that I work with in my team, and he was sharing that he had taken this identical system from another gentleman. I forget his name right now, but he had spent over $10,000 for a coaching session. Now, you are so fortunate that you are in a position to get this system, and you get this system at no cost because you're part of the World Cappers organization. If you're not a World Capper, speak with the person that invites you on the call. Let them know that you're interested in getting the system for free, and we'll help show you the way on how to get the systems for free. So the first thing I want to start off with is that the fact that real estate is an honorable profession. That means that real estate is an honorable profession that you and I are currently privileged to have the ability to be a licensed real estate or real estate broker, agent or broker in the state of California and other states also. But this is one of the most sought after professions in the work industry because of the fact that people that does real estate and do it at a high level and do it successfully with repeatable systems, they make great income. Now, how many of you guys right now on the call today that got into real estate because you thought it would be a lucrative business to be in as an owner? Can you unmute yourself, show your face, or let me know that you guys agree with me? I see all avatars here and I don't see no people. Can you guys turn your cameras on for me and let's talk? Okay, Miles said yes. He gave me a thumbs up. And who else? Mike Ace. Mike, would you mind unmuting yourself? Tell me, why did you choose real estate over all the careers you could have chosen for yourself? Why did you choose real estate?
I chose real estate when I was, I've been in the business now since I graduated college, Cal State Northridge. Hold on, let me put the phone on. I gotta crank that.
Okay, look, my phone's still ringing. He's applying the systems that he's been learning here.
Hold on, I'm ready. So, when I got out of college, I got into real estate. But when I was going to school, I took all the courses. I got into real estate because a lot of the people that I was going to school with, we all got into real estate, either doing loans or real estate, because that way we could manage our own business, we could run our own time, and we could help people, and the sky was the limit. So that was the reason why I got into real estate.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Mike. And did it have anything to do with the possible income you could make?
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
All right, excellent.
I didn't know anything about EXP or anything about real estate, really. When I got into the business, I knew nothing about it, to be honest with you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mike, for sharing. Anybody else like to share about the reason why they got into real estate, why they chose this as a profession versus any other profession they could have went into? How about you, Asila, Michelle, Sharon, William? Hit your unmute yourself, hit your space bar on the PC.
I got into real estate because I think it was the perfect career to follow according to my personality. I love to talk to people, and I love to negotiate. Um, I like to help people to get their homes. I think that was the perfect fit for me, and that it's a career that I can do in any state of the United States, and the
Awesome.
knowledge will carry with you. And but I'm still in California,
Okay.
but now it's getting a little hard, and yeah, it's very it's challenging, but I guess that's what I like, the challenge.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for sharing. And what about Michelle or Sharon? Well, and Mir, anyone of you guys want to share? Okay, William, why did you get into real estate? And,
Also, um, to help people as well.
yeah.
I wanted to own my own business, and then I also wanted to help people because I'd been in the mortgage for over 10, 15 years, actually doing collections, servicing as well, seeing every aspect of it. And I was like, I could do this, in terms of being able to assist someone and make money at the same time.
Okay. All righty. Thank you, William, for sharing. Anyone else? Okay. I guess I'm the only one. I got into real estate because I said, man, I can make a lot of money. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I like doing a lot of things, but I like to spend money. And I got into real estate because I said, wait a minute, if I sell 5 houses and I make $15,000 a house, let me see, 5 times 15, that equaled my salary for the whole year working to over 2,000 hours. I can sell 5 houses in a month. Hot dog, I know what I'm going to do for my career. That's why I got into real estate, because I believe in the power of leveraging my time. I believe in spending my time doing things I like to do rather than things I have to do. So real estate for me, I'm just being serious. I do love people, but it's about the money. Now, how many of you guys agree with that? You can just give me a thumbs up. You don't have to say nothing. A thumbs up if it's about the money. Okay? And that's my truth. That's my truth. But today, I want to take you guys on a journey. And my pledge to you is this here. If you go on this journey with me over the next 60, 90 days that we're going to be on this journey, my pledge is to help you to reach your goals, to live your dreams, and to balance your life. That means that your financial goals and your financial goals are pretty closely tied to your personal goals, and to help you reach all your dreams in life and live a balanced life. That means that not working 70, 80 hours a week to try to make ends meet. I'm speaking about getting your time back if you take and embrace the tools and the technology and the systems that we're going to give you here. Now, how many of you guys here do you believe that real estate is a skill? Selling is a skill. I can't see nobody's faces. Please unveil yourself so I can see you if you can. That'll be great. All right, I got a thumbs up. Real estate is a skill. Okay. And if real estate is a skill, and to have a skill is going to require you to do certain things to increase and be better at what you do. Correct? So for this profession that we're in, what it really means to you is this here, is that to excel in real estate, that means to get better in real estate, it requires dedication and commitment to self-improvement. If you're in real estate and you're not in some type of self-improvement program or building up on the things that you have naturally, chances are you're going to do real estate, but you're not going to be successful as you could be if you have the right systems and tools in place. So, as any other profession, whether doctor, lawyer, or person, whoever that is, they're as good as they are because of their study, because of the repetition of doing what they do, and they have built themselves in systems that allow them to apply themselves in such a way that they increase in ability to do their business. Okay, I'm looking like I got a message here. 1 second. I think I'm good. There's a message. Okay, so guys, we're putting the messages coming up in the waiting room. Put the message for me in the actual chat box because I'm coming up in the waiting room. I don't know why, but it's showing up there for me. All right, so let's go one step further. Now, We believe that selling is a skill. Now, think about this. For any skill that you have to practice at it to get better. Would you agree? So, if playing tennis, I like to bowl. So, when I first started bowling, I would throw gutter balls all the time. How many of you guys ever bowled before? Them balls kind of have a mind of their own, don't they? How about tennis? You guys ever played tennis? And when you first started, how good were you? Not good. Good. What is it that you do right now personally and that you're really good at in a hobby? Mike?
Football.
Football?
Yeah, you can catch and run the ball.
Okay. And
Maybe when I was younger, but not as much so now. Not as fast.
okay. All right. Awesome. So football was something. So were you naturally just good at it, or you had to practice to get your skill set together?
You have to practice catching because otherwise you'll drop it.
Okay. Anyone else like to share something they're good at? Okay. Well, bowling. I'm good at bowling. And I carried, when I was bowling league, I carried a 169 average, which is not bad, but it's not really good. But it's above average. So I carried a 169 average. That means I would roll a 200 one game, I roll a 150 the next game, but I end up around a 169 average. Well, when I was bowling every day, my skill level increased and I was able to consistently keep that average. But I had stopped bowling for a while. And when I stopped bowling, I went back to bowling again. I took my balls out. I had my balls all shiny, my nice bowling shoes on, my bag and everything. Looked like a real bowler, but I started throwing the ball again, and guess what? I was throwing gutter balls. I couldn't hit the 1 pin for nothing. I would hit the 10 pin, the 7 pin, but I wasn't any good at it. But what happened was I had stopped practicing and crafting my skill. I had stopped developing. So it's with any profession, including real estate, it's going to take dedication and commitment to developing yourself and your skill set for the profession that you're in. For everyone here to be successful, you're going to have to be part of a system. You're going to have a system and an unshakable belief in yourself. So what's going to help you be successful is systems and an unshakable belief in yourself. Now, how many of you guys on this call today would like to be successful in the area of selling homes or buying homes or working with investors? William? Okay. Mike? I think I see Amir. I see Garcilla. Yes. Michelle? Yes. Sharon, how about you? You want to be successful? Okay. Sharon, I think that's yes. And I have a couple more people coming online. And the thing is, what I want to share with you guys is that to be successful in real estate, it's going to be just like any other sport that you try, any other profession that you want to be in, is going to take your commitment to personal development. So first of all, I want to commend you guys for coming on this call today with me so I can coach you in the area of presentations to help you with dialogue, scripting, tools, and everything that you need to be successful in the area of selling homes. Now, today, in your goal, how many of you guys, you can do a thumbs up or thumbs down, have actually attained your goals for this year that you set forth in January or later part of last year? And you say, I have a goal of selling X amount of homes this year. How many of you guys have actually met them goals right now today? Thumbs up. I see Trudy said yes. How many of you guys, and it's okay, guys. Listen, I'm working on my goals too, so it's okay. The year is not over. So if we teach you something the next 3 months to help you meet them goals, then this is a well-vested time. Wouldn't it be? So anybody else want to share? Have they met their goals yet? Okay, nobody else? Okay.
Not yet. The COVID came in for me.
Not yet. COVID came in. And thank you for sharing that, Garcilla. And Michelle, how you doing, Michelle? Good to see you. Good to see your face. Cornelius, good to have you online. So the thing what we're saying here is that if you haven't hit your goals, you're in the right place at the right time. We're going to give you some tools, some tips, and some strategies that's going to help make a difference. Because with this here process or with this system training of real estate selling power, it's going to require you to be in front of clients. It's going to require you to let's see here. All right. It's going to require you, I got people jumping in the waiting room, that's what I'm looking at. But it's going to require you to put some effort forward. Are you guys willing to commit for 90 days to go on a journey with me, to apply the tools that I'm going to give you, implement the systems that we have, personalize it for yourself, and do the work? If you do, type in the chat box, I mean, yes. Say I'm in. Just put in the chat box, yes, I'm in. And then that's your commitment. And then I'm going to do everything in my power to help you succeed, to win your time back, to increase your financial goal, to achieve your financial goals and any personal goals you may have in the area that your finances will unleash for you. Because a lot of us can't achieve our goals because our finances are not there to meet the things that we want to get done. Like myself, my goals are not met because I want to financially fund my grandchildren's college fund. I haven't met that goal yet, but I do know that as I am able to leverage my time and increase my financial position, I'll be able to pay for their college educations and get them into college for free. And where they don't have to take out student loans. How many of you guys right now have student loans that you're paying on? I mean, I'm laughing, but the truth is that we're almost 90 years old and we're still paying on student loans. What's up with that picture? I think that's a racket. That's my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion. So let me stick to the goal. Let me not digress here. But my goal is to help you get really good at selling real estate. That's my goal. It's to help you get really good at selling real estate so that you can do all the things that you want and have all the time to get it done. So this is what I'm asking you guys to just to commit. So what I want you to do is, this is your job here, is to commit to doing one thing only, and that is getting in front of clients and doing presentations. That means that every successful real estate agent, your job is to have 4 presentations a week, 16 presentations a month. That's your job. So everything that we're going to teach you here today is that when you get in front of the client doing your job, you're going to be so proficient, so well prepared that everything that the client will give you in the form of an objection or a concern, you'll be able to meet it with the tools that we're going to give you through this program. It is strictly for to help you with presentation. Your job as a real estate agent is to present. And once you get everyone presented into your presentation, I guarantee you, if you do 16 presentations a month, out of 16, you would end up failing at least 8 times, maybe, but you will succeed 4 times. If you succeeded at 4 presentations a month, that means listing the buyer or listing the seller, would your business be in good shape? Give me a yes or no in the chat box, or you can just put your thumbs up on the screen. Would you be in a better position? Yeah. And this is the whole purpose of this training, is to help you get to where you are successfully listing buyers or sellers every month at a minimum of 4. We're going to give you the tools, the tips, and the strategies on how you're going to get there. So let me ask a question. If you guys, anybody want to give a share here, what is your biggest challenge right now facing you in real estate, in your career right now? You can unmute yourself, and I just want to ask that question.
Limited properties.
Limited properties. Okay, that's good. Thank you, Amir. Next, anyone else? Nobody else? Yep. Everybody's doing so good in real estate. They have no challenges at all. You wake up in the morning and just rosy. Come on now. This is called interaction. Go ahead, Mike. I'm ready. I'm not putting the pressure. Say again?
Lack of energy, I guess, because in my case, it's my health. It's being challenged a little bit, and I've been trying to get my energy back.
Energy. Okay. All right. So that is a constraint for you, lack of energy. Anyone else want to share them?
The low sugar and headaches and the stress, everything came all together at the same time.
Okay.
So I'm trying, first of all, going to the doctor, taking care of myself. That's the main goal for me right now.
Okay. Well, take care of yourself, Graciela. And the question is that what is your biggest constraint or biggest challenge with facing getting new clients or more business? That's the question I'm asking.
Oh,
Or
I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, I'm going at it like you guys said. I get 4 contacts a day to get an appointment, and I've been able to get clients, buyers more than sellers, and that's my switching. I want to switch to more sellers than buyers right now.
okay, all right, and you know what? Trudy last week she gave a tip. And it was I heard it. It was really good. In fact, I shared it with someone else. How she have buyers but can't find property. She take and find a neighborhood the buyers want to move into and start calling all the sellers in the neighborhood to say, "Do you want to sell your property, or do you mind if I should come by and show you a home? And if you get a good offer that you accept, would you take it?" And surprisingly, some of the sellers said yes. In fact, Trudy mentioned that she had actually gotten an escrow started from a client that was not listed but was in a house that a client wanted to buy. So guess
Yeah,
what, guys?
I got that tip. I got that tip, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you, Gusilla. And the thing that I'm saying is that create your listing. If there's not enough inventory, make some. Because the sign out in front of the house doesn't mean that the seller don't want to sell or haven't thought about selling. This is where you do this here. And this is a tip for you. The thing called circle prospecting. You find out the neighborhood where your client wants to buy. You can buy a list through different dollars. It's called circle prospecting. Pull up the neighborhood and start calling all the sellers and asking them what they're interested in taking an offer from your buyer that's looking to buy a home just like theirs. And what did they say? Yes. Hot dog, you better be ready with your presentation. Go ahead, Mike.
Yes, I will.
Yes.
I agree with you, Kelvin. It's a great way to do it. And I used to, before the market crashed, I used to go on a lot of for sale by owners, canceled, expireds. I used to do 10 to 14 appointments every week, sitting in front of sellers, the whole 9 yards, and did 10 to 14 presentations a week. We'd take a listing every other day. But when the market crashed, the inventory crashed with it, and it's continued to go down even today. I mean, it's just, if you look at a graph, it's down, down, down. So you don't have the expireds, you don't have the canceled, you don't have the same FISBOs coming out on a daily basis. It used to be pulling fish out of a bucket.
Yes.
But I adjusted. I built a farm.
There you go.
I sent out mailers.
There you
I
go.
call them, and I door knock them. And I hit them all three. And now with COVID, it's knocked out the door knocking. So
Yes.
I have to be on the phone all day, every day. And I get on the phone and I build relationships. I ask them just like that. I don't even have a buyer, but I say, because we've got express offers with the XP, I always have a buyer now, right? So I can call them and say, I'm looking for properties in your neighborhood because I have a buyer and I'm calling on your home. I tell them the address and I say, are you thinking of selling in the near future? And, obviously most of them are going to say no, but some of them say yes. And I can start a relationship that I send them a letter. Then I put them on the follow-up plan and they get followed up on. And that's how I get inventory these days.
System.
That's what I do.
That's a system that Mike is speaking about. You hear that, guys? See, if there is low inventory or lack of inventory or lack of opportunity, then you have to change the mindset. There's plenty of opportunity. You just have to figure out a new way of getting to it. Mike has discovered, Trudy has discovered that they're going to create the inventory that they need. If your client is, you have an approved buyer that's under contract with you, then your job is to find them a house, even if it's not listed. So the tip you got today, circle prospecting, that's one. And that's a great idea for many of us there. So let's get back to where we are here.
Kelvin, before you turn that off, when you get the listing, the sign goes up, and then the buyer calls you. So then with inventory comes buyers as well. So you can get buyers in double end properties or hold an open house. So it gives you the option. So that's, and you can just get, it's just You can go to Red X,
Yeah. And
pick up geo leads for $400 a year, and call everybody in the valley or the city or wherever you are. They'll give you the phone numbers to call.
Yeah.
And now they're doing email addresses too. So I mean, there's ways to make it happen.
Exactly. And the thing is being able to go willing to go further than you would normally go. And there was a time when real estate was just falling out of the air, but it's not that time now. So the successful agent have systems in place. It's 10 mastermind sessions, coaching sessions like this, and get tips. These tips are worth millions of dollars that you guys are getting right now. So the thing I would say to you is that if you're not in a position where you're having 4 presentations a week, then we have to do some of the things that we spoke about here by Mike and by Trudy. Go out and tap inventory that does not on the market. It doesn't mean sellers don't want to sell because they don't have a sign up, but have you asked them? And that's the question. Ask, ask, ask. So what I want to get to you here, guys, is I want you to stop working for free. How many of you guys have been on listing apartments and have not been successful at getting your listing, or you have been working with clients and not had a contract signed with them, and they go out and they buy a home with someone else? Has it ever happened to you guys? You can thumbs up if it has. Okay.
Kelvin, this is Star. Can you let me in on the computer? You have to accept me.
Okay, waiting room. Okay, gotcha.
Thank you.
All righty. We'll fix that for next week. Hey, Sally, you on there? You'll take that next week. If you see them in the chat room, you can let them in, Sally.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, everybody knows Sally. Sally is working with me. She's my business development manager. Okay, excellent. So the question here, guys, is here. We've been working as real estate agents for too long for free. This whole program is around building your confidence to such an unshakable level that you will stop working for free. We don't want no one, again, working for free. Do you know this is a true statistic that the average real estate agent sells only 2 houses a year? Only earns several $100s or a few $1,000s a month, every other month or something like that. That's a real statistic. And if you're an agent and you're not selling 12 to 15 to 25 houses a year, I think every agent is quick to sell 25 houses a year. But if you're not selling these 10 houses a year, then we know that your systems are not in place. It's an automatic thing. Your dialogues are not, your scripting is not in place. So we want to bridge that gap for you today through this training system. So I just want you to commit to getting along, getting with us, and I want you to know that you have a license, and then we're going to teach you how to effectively be an agent to be sure that you have at least 4 presentations a week, 16 a month. That is every month of your real estate career, to always be prospecting, always be in front of clients. And as we go through this workbook, and the guys are working out the workbook, you'll know that you have to be meeting at least 3 clients a day, vicariously by going to work in a grocery store, wherever you are, and you would have to be adding them to your database, and you have to start prospecting them in the area of what we call sphere of influence or nurturing campaigns built into your system. If you're with the company EXP, you have a nurturing campaign built into your CRM, and you should have all of your buyers, sellers, acquaintances on certain programs that where the artificial intelligence will take care of your what they call nurturing the relationships, and you drop the periodic calls in and check in on them, and then eventually ask them for referrals. And I have this campaign that I use personally called, by the way, who do you know? That's actually a campaign. I call, make a business call, and I always ask my sphere of influence, by the way, who do you know that may be looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the next 60, 90, or 120 days? In this case here, I say 12 months, because I don't want to leave nothing on the table. Because right now, people are going a little slower buying after the election, after COVID, and things of nature. So I need to have a bigger pool of clientele to pull from to make sure that I have my 4 presentations a week and my 16 a month. And guys, if you're not doing so, we're going to get on that later on. I want you to be prospecting. That means that you need to have non-negotiable time where you would have at least minimum of 2 hours per day calling people that you don't know, asking them for business every day. In fact, I was doing my calls this week, and I got 3 listing appointments this week. People that I don't know. But how many people did I call? Over 300. It's a numbers game. So if you're not dialing and you're not calling, you're not asking, the chance of your presentation is going to go lower. And if you're only getting 1 out of 3 presentations because it's actually skilled, but you're only getting 1 out of 3, if you're only holding 2 a month, can you see how it would hurt your business? So I want you to be able to be so good and have so many opportunities that even when you miss 2, you always get the 3rd one. Or you make all 3 of them and you might miss the next 4 of them. But you would always be averaging the committed sellers that willing to commit to you and actually sign up for you on contract. Okay? Now the thing I want to say this here to you. Some of you guys that's doing this business right now today will probably be uncomfortable asking a buyer to sign a buyer broker's agreement. How many of you guys have had challenges in the past or being challenged with that right now, or having a seller sign a contract? Do you get nervous in that area, or do you feel a little not as sure of yourself in the area? You can say yes in the chat box, or you can go ahead on and just put your hand up on the screen. Let me know that that's one of the challenges that you're having. Okay, I see one. And it's okay, guys. This is not a pass-fail thing. This is just me checking in with you to see that you are actually that where the challenges are, so I can know how to best help you. Okay, only one person having a challenge. Everybody. Now, how many of you guys are successful at listing the seller and the buyer every time you meet with them? Okay, so if you're not, then how many of you guys are successful listing the buyer and the seller 1 out of 3 times? Okay, Mike said yes. Okay, Mike is a student about 4 times through this program. So Mike, I understand his yes because he's got a system. He knows how to handle the dialogues. And guys, what I'm asking this for, because we're going to help you. And say this for here. The sellers and buyers and even our peers has made us feel uncomfortable or uneasy about trying to get a buyer listed on the contract, and so we don't even ask. We just say, oh, I'm going to work with you and hope that that client will buy a house through us. But I want to say to you that is not the right way to work. I want you to start working effectively and leveraging your time and not work for free. Because if a buyer or seller is working with you and they're not under contract committed to you, then they're not really your client. How many of you guys out there today that's been working with buyers or sellers and they actually bought or sold a property with someone other than you? Did that ever happen to you? Raise your hand. And I'm going to raise my hand. It happened to me. Anyone else that happened to? Just me? Mike? Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Star? Garcia? And everyone should put their hand up and selling real estate, because I know it has happened to us once or twice. You know, now when I say that, in your career, if it's a veteran like Trudy, like Amir, like Mike Ace, it don't happen to us no more because we don't work without contracts. Now, the thing is, and this is the truth of the matter, is that it's just going to be uncomfortable for you trying to get the buyer listed or the seller listing. And yes, if you're new to the call, we do list buyers, and that's called a buyer broker representation agreement. Okay? Now, I want you to commit today that you're going to stop working for free. You see, you can work with 150 buyers that's not committed to you, and they go off and buy a home with someone else. I'd rather see you working with 50 committed buyers that is willing to work with you because they're committed to you by written agreement, and then you do all your work to work with them and get them the home or help them sell their property that they need. I would rather you lose potential people that will probably betray you anyway. Have you ever heard this term, as buyers are liars? It's a real term, and it's the truth. Oh, you my age, I'm going to work with you. And I had it happen to me. In fact, the client was actually under contract, and I could have pursued them to get my commission. But what am I going to look like suing the client for commission? I had to ruin my reputation, so I had to let them go. It doesn't mean they're going to really work with you, but the surety is that they will work with you more committed if they signed on the contract. So let's talk about this here. Real estate is the only profession where agents have trouble asking for a commitment in writing. Do you realize that? Let's use a couple examples. If you go to the doctor's office and before you sit down, what do? They make you fill out the paperwork and give them the insurance information. Why? Because they want to be sure that they're going to get paid. How about if you go to the auto mechanic and you go take your car in for repairs? What do? They give you an estimate to make you sign a document for the potential repairs you're going to do. And if you don't pay them, what do? They hold your car hostage, don't they? You can't get your car. Your car be in mechanic jail because you didn't pay them. Real estate is no different. We have an honorable profession, and we should never work without a written commitment from the people that we're working with. After all, your time is valuable. After all, your time is worth $. And when I say that, everyone here should know their hourly rate. And if you don't, then you should. What is your hourly rate? When you invest your time in any client, what do you average out your hourly cost to you to be working with any client at every given time? Now, I know my number. My number is $461 an hour. That's my number. Okay? So anytime I'm working with any client, I have to clock my time on the dollar to know exactly how much I'm investing in this client. That's my salary that I pay myself. No, that's it. Well, that's kind of a lot, Kelvin. Well, if you really think about it, take the amount of money that you earn every year, divide it by the amount of hours you work, and you get your hourly number. So $461 an hour is my number. Now, your number may be different. So if you're working with a client that does not have a contract with you and you put in 5 or 6 hours and that client buys a home with someone else, you just invest that much money in that client that you're not going to get paid on. And I want you never to do that again. I'd rather see you work with fewer clients and get paid every time because you're a professional, you have systems, and you are good at what you do. Hopefully during this time here, we're going to help walk you guys through this process. Now, in this course, we're going to be laying down a system and a foundation of scripts, dialogues. That means be able to communicate effectively with your sellers and your buyers. That's going to help you win in every presentation that you have, whether it be a buyer, seller, or investment. You will operate from a place of confidence, and you will not be shaken at the fear of loss when you're working with them, because you know you're going to always bring your A game, because you're going to be a student, a product of real estate selling power systems. Now, not a person, but systems that you're going to be empowered by. And our goal is to help walk you through the sales process of communication, help you develop a 7-step sales process system that you will be followed every time you meet with a buyer or seller. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to say the same things. You're going to answer the same questions. And I truly believe that you're going to be so confident, you're going to be so unshakable at the things that you're doing that no seller can tell you, I won't sign a contract. No seller can tell you that I want you to fill out a CMA. Give me the CMA before I commit. You will not work for free. And if I could do anything for you in your real estate career, my commitment is to stop you working for free. To get paid every time you leave out your house and you commit to work with a client. Okay, this is something that top producers do all the time. There's no top producer or selling agent that works for free, that do not have a proven system, a proven set of dialogue that they use to be successful, and they do the same thing over and over again. They do it so frequently that it becomes easy. And what we got to do is develop that doing it so often that it becomes easy. When it becomes easy, it becomes pleasurable. Can you guys agree with that? All right, excellent. So what I want to do is work with you guys in a place where you're going to develop what we call a unshakable belief in yourself and a repeatable system that you're going to use in everything that you do. Now, the surprise to you guys here, we have everything written out for you. We have a book. We have scripting cards for you. We have PowerPoint presentation. We have the ability to create your own marketing presentation, that is video presentation. Do you know that the average real estate agent is 53 years old right now today? And the average consumer is 33 years old. That means that you, as an agent, will have to bring yourself into the area where the 33-year-olds are shopping. And guess where they're shopping at? on the internet. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on Twitter, they're using YouTube. And you, as an agent, must position yourself through video, through ads and things to attract the attention of the potential client that you want to attract. So we're going to help you with the marketing presentations. We're going to help you with the systems that you need to effectively do the work that you need, that you have to get done. So real estate selling power is a repeatable system. Everybody get that in their mind. I'm going to develop a system. And now the system that you're going to develop, it's not going to be mimicked after Kelvin or Daniel or anyone else. You're going to take this customizable system and build it around your own style, your own way of communicating. You're not going to change the dialogues, not going to change the steps, but you may personalize it to look and act like you act when you're meeting with your clients, so you will be yourself. Now, this unshakable belief really requires that you're going to have to get it done. And some of you are going to say is, how can I do it? And you're going to do it by creating it. You're going to start where you are, scared to death, but you're going to build an unshakable resolve because of the systems that's going to support you, knowing your scripting that's going to support you, and that's going to take you to where you want to be. Okay, now, let's start here. The best way to get there, we got to understand the process of selling. We call that process, it's called the 4 C's. This is something that Daniel's been teaching in his book, and if you're looking at, I am actually on page number 3 in the workbook. So if you got your workbook out, it's page number 3 is where I'm at. And it's speaking about the 4 C's, the selling principles. And I think these here are so important for us to understand, because this is the mindset around selling real estate. And if you understand the principles of selling, we call them the 4 C's, and they will help you build an unshakable belief in the tools that you have, in the clients that you're in front of, and you will be able to win 3 out of 4 chances. Instead of winning 1 out of 4, you win 3 out of 4 because of the systems that's in front of you. So the first thing I would say to you is this here, is that you have to get a commitment before going to work. You have to get a commitment before going to work. And what does that mean? That means that if that client, a potential client, is not willing to sign a broker agreement with you, whether buyer or seller, you have to get comfortable by asking for it and be okay if they say no. You say some will, some won't, so what, and next. The reason I say that to you is that we spend a lot of time working with buyers that's not qualified, buyers that have no intention of working with us. In fact, they have a friend that just got their license last week, but they didn't tell you. They're going to have you show them all the houses, and then they're going to have their friend write the contract up. Buyers do that, and have that happen to you guys before. I have had it happen to me so many times in my career that I vowed not to work with nobody without a contract. In fact, I was putting them on a contract before it became popular, because I hate to be used. How many of you guys don't like to be used? Just me? Okay. All right. And I say that because you don't want to waste your time. If I'm going to spend my time, I'm going to spend my time with my family, playing with my children, my grandchildren, taking my wife to the movies, walking on the beach. That's where I'm going to spend my time. I'm not driving somebody around in a car doing all this work, and then at the end of the day spend 10 hours and didn't get paid. 10 hours, let me see, that's $4,600 it cost me. I'm not going to do it. How about you? Everybody shake their head and say, nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. There you go. Exactly right. So I want us to get into the concept and be comfortable with this is how we do business, and we will not change it. We'll do business this one way only. I'm going to get the commitment, or I won't work with them. Remember the car mechanic. Remember the doctor's office. Remember the dentist's office. Remember the lawyer's office that you go into. Everywhere you go in the professional arena, how many of you guys are forced to sign or are encouraged to sign a contract, or the person don't work with you? You ever been refused service because you wouldn't sign the document? Yeah. And that is it, guys. So we're going to agree not to work for free. Everybody agree with that? Just shake your head and give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Thumbs up. Yeah. Not going to work for free. I understand that I got to have a commitment before I go to work because I know my work. I know how much I make every hour, so I'm not going to waste my time. If I'm going to waste my time, I'm going to spend that quality time with my family. I will not sacrifice that just driving people around or trying to win somebody's approval, hoping they sign with me. And listen, it's going to be uncomfortable because it's a different way of thinking. In fact, do you know that people in your own office will frown on you? Well, I work with them all the time, and they'll make you feel bad of getting a commitment from your body or you refuse to work with them because you're doing the right thing. It's going to take a habit to know that your time is valuable, and I will only do this here or work with people that's willing to commit to me in my service. Okay. Second thing I would say to you is that the first thing was commitment. I'm sorry, I didn't give it to you guys. Concept, and that is to commitment to getting people working for. I'm sorry, let me give you guys a slide. Is the concept getting the commitment before going to work. The second of the 4 C's will be content. That is words. Your words are powerful. Okay? Your words are powerful. What does that mean, Kelvin? That means that when we hear, we forget. When we see, we remember. And when we do, we understand. So this is where it's going to require something on your behalf. This is where your personal development is going to come in. With content, we have to be willing and be ready to study. We got to be willing and ready to put together the plan to know our scripting or our dialogues. And I say scripting because everybody get, kind of like, I don't like scripting, but you have to learn them. Because in the system, there's 270 scripts. So what I'm asking you to do is to take 3 a day over the next 90 days and learn 3 scripts per day that you can say them without the dialogue, without the card in front of you. And then one of the tools that you can use, in fact, all the scripts are on a flash drive. We have them on where you can take and record them on your personal recorder. And then while you're driving the car, put your scripts on and just start saying them over and over again so that when you get in front of your client, you'll be well scripted. Your dialogue will be in place and your words will be powerful. You'll know how to handle the objections. You know how to do different things. But we have to commit to the scripting. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I first did the course the first time, I did not take it seriously. Meaning that I did not do the scripts. I did them, but I didn't do it seriously. And it cost me transactions. It cost me bad conversations with sellers. How many of you guys right now today that has been in conversation with sellers and you knew you lost a seller because you said the wrong thing and did the wrong thing? Anybody? I see one person. You raise your hand. Mike, I see another person. And myself, I feel it right here. I'm like, and I feel a disconnect. I said, I just lost them. And I vowed that won't happen to me no more. I'm going to learn the scripts so that when I'm dealing with the buyers and dealing with the sellers, I know exactly what to say. I will say just enough and not too much. I will ask the questions and lead them to a decision, but I will not over talk because I'm nervous and I don't know what to do. Because when you're nervous, you actually take and you talk too much. You start talking about things that's irrelevant to the conversation of closing. And I want you to be so good that you will only say the things that's necessary to close. Okay? The last thing I'll say about this here is that you have to not take the path of least resistance. What does that mean, Kelvin? That means that when people are there, and they're in front of you and they're giving you objections, and we say, oh, well, okay, that's okay, and we'll stop. We won't go any further with them. We'll just hang up the phone or we'll just end the meeting. What I want you to do is to be so good at your systems and your dialogue that you'll be able to handle all the objections, answer all the questions, and continue to the close until they kick you out the house or hang the phone up on you. Because you have so many ways to continue the conversation with them to lead them to the decision. In fact, I'll give you a testimony. On Friday, on 2 days ago, I was on this phone call with a seller. And the seller was like, oh yeah, I want to sell the house and so forth. And then they came up with the objection and said, well, I don't want to sell because I got to go and clean the house up first. And so let's put it off and I'll call you back. I said, well, Mr. Seller, other than cleaning the house up, is there any other reason why you wouldn't meet with me to take a look at your property so that we can go ahead and put it on the market to get you to get your house sold in the time you want and get you the money that you're looking to get? He says, no, not that. I said, great. Will Monday or Tuesday at 5 o'clock work for you? Or will Thursday or Friday work for you? And then he did it again. He said, well, I have to, my kids was in the house. And guess what I did? And I said, other than that, and then I handled that about where I say, well, we as realtors, we don't look at the clutter. In fact, I can come by and give you suggestions on things you can do to actually help your home show better. So me coming where it is actually is a great opportunity for me to come. And I went back to close again. But do you know after the third close, he says, okay, great, Friday at 11 o'clock will be fine. And I got an appointment tomorrow because I didn't give up when he said no. Guess what helped me with that? My scripts. But if I didn't know the scripting and the dialogues, I would have caved in and gave up on the presentation. Now, another session, what if you was at the listing table with a seller and you go there and you do your presentation and so forth, and if you follow the real estate selling power systems, you don't have a CMA with you, do you? Everybody said, nope, don't bring a CMA because I'm not there to get the listing, to price the property. I'm there to get the commitment. Remember, commitment before work. So if you bring a CMA, that means that you actually did the work before you had the commitment. Can you see that being a problem? So now you're at the table with the seller, and the Mr. Seller says to you, he says, well, you know, all the other agents came and left their CMA. Well, I won't commit until I see the CMA. What are you going to do at that point? Well, here's my CMA like everybody else, and they take your CMA, put in the policy, thank you very much. We'll call you when we make a decision. But if you're trained properly with the real estate selling power system, then you know exactly through content what you have to do. You go right back to your scripting and you're going to say, I understand, Mr. Seller, that other agents may do it that way, but I don't work that way. So I have to be okay to not give in and not take the path of least resistance because I have my dialogues to fall back on, and then I have to be sure to be persistent, to stay true to the scripting, stay true to the process and the system that I developed, that I will end up with the deal. That means that I will get the great reward from it. Can you guys see that being helpful for you in your real estate career? Okay, great. I'm glad you guys see that. And your words are powerful, guys. And if you have the right words, not too much and not too little, and lead them to the decision, you will come out a victor more than you will come out a victim of wasting your time. Okay? Now, let's talk about this place called content. And all the content that you need is, guess where it's at? It's in the book. It's here. It's right in the book. I want you guys to really take this journey we're going to be on and be sincere about studying the book and the scripts. If you study the books and the scripting, I guarantee your numbers will start increasing, your confidence will start increasing, and you will close more deals. How many of you guys in the last 3 months of this year, October, November, December, would like to sell 5 more homes? Okay. I pledge to help you any way I can to do what it takes to get in front of enough sellers and enough buyers, get them under contract so you can go to work for them and close at least 5 deals before Christmas. And I want your Christmas to be great. And I believe if you do the homework and do the things we ask you to do, you will find out that you'll be more effective in your communications, more effective in the way that you're working with your clients. The next C will be called context. That means have a plan. And this is where we'll deal with the 7 steps. And we're going to talk about the entry of how you engage your client when you first come in. And these 7 steps are always the same. The 4 C's are always the same. So we're looking for you guys to be able to to understand the concept and you remember the 4 C's. So let's look at the word context. That's to have a plan. How many of you guys right now have a plan? Okay, you got a plan, okay? Now, is it a plan that you follow every time? Godzilla has a plan. Do you stick with the plan? Is it part of a system or is it something that you do by winging it? Now, what that means is that You never deviate from the plan that you have, no matter how what seller or buyer you're in. Your plan stays the same. Your delivery may change, but the plan stays concrete. Now the question is, you know, the answer here is how effective is your plan? Are you getting the results from your plan with your calls and with your presentations? This is where we're going to start adjusting our plans. And today I want to help us move to the place where we start adjusting the plans. Now, this is your homework. Commit to setting your goals for the rest of these 90 days. Commit to having your strategic plan in place for your presentations, for your marketing, and for your scripting for the buyers and the seller. Get a drink of water. Sorry. Now, if you commit to doing the things we ask you to do and study the scripting, this is what I would guarantee you, that you will learn the scripting, and when you go on your presentations, you'll be more able to close the presentations. Now, how fast you do it is going to truly be upon you. How fast you remember the scripting, how fast you put your system in place is going to be truly dependent upon you. But you don't have to wait for the class, so you can go ahead in the book. But the thing is, have your multimedia presentation done. Have your PowerPoints in place. Know your dialogue for the buyers, sellers, and the investors. And then the best way to learn, guys, is by going on presentations. So you want to learn this real fast? Get in front of 4 sellers a week and 4 sellers, 16 sellers a month. Guess what? You'll be so good at your craft. And when you mess up, you go back and study and say, oh, I missed this step right here. I didn't isolate. I didn't isolate the objection. I didn't answer the question, and I didn't go back to my close. I didn't go back to my next script, and you're going to remember where you fell off at, and then that's going to help you build yourself into the place where your plan stays intact. We're going to talk about that next, the 7 steps. Okay, remember, we have everything you need. We have the visual aids, we have the flashcards, we have the PowerPoints, and we have a way that you can do your own PowerPoint presentations to help you with everything to get yourself in place. All right? Dealing with the 7 steps, we're going to go into that in my next session there. But then the 4th step will be this here. It's the principle of customization. What does that mean to you? Customization means that for every client, it's going to be different. Not the strategy, not the plan, but how you deliver it. If you're working with your people, if you're working with the people that currently have a person, a driver, analytical, introverted person, or admirable, or the different types of people, you have to know how they are so you can start mimicking. Now you call it mimicking the body languages. So if they talk slow, you have to talk slow. If they talk fast, you talk fast. If they sit back, you have to sit back. If they lean forward, you have to lean forward. And that means you have to start mimicking them, because you have to start to connect with them. And then when you match their tone and their tonality, you match their positions in your stance, you start to connect with them subliminally, and you become what they call in agreement with them. And then as you move into your presentation, they'll start mimicking your moves, and then you know you made the connection, and that's when you're one step closer to making your transaction a reality. So customization just simply means that be yourself, but be what you need to be to the customer that you're servicing at that time. Develop your own style, match your client in personality, in tonality, and body. If you match up the 3 things, you'll be succinctly in connection with them, and that's what happens. That's when you start to make headway. You start meeting them in the heart. You get them out the head in the here, because now they say, I like you and I trust you because we just alike. We have our hand just alike. We sit just alike. Our tone is just alike. And these things are so important when you're working with buyers and sellers. So the thing I'll say to you here is, when we hear, we forget. When we see, we remember. When we do, we understand. So to be effective in what we're doing here, you're going to have to master these things. That is the doing part, because you've heard it, you're going to see it, so you're going to read the cards, and you're going to do it, you're going to become to understand. And that's where memorization comes in place. This is where you start to remember things at such a level. Okay, that covers the 4 C's, and we're going to go through here and we're going to talk about the customization side of it. And this is where you're going to go with the entry. This is where you're going to go in with the 7 steps that we spoke about. The first step I like to go is the entry. How many of you guys know about that? Now I'm going to chapter 2, page number 9 in your workbook. Entry. So everybody know that from Daniel. Let me get them staying up now so we can do our entry and I'll do our thing so you guys can see me moving around here. So entry. What do? Hand out. This here is a place of agreement. When you put your hand out to shake, you shake hands. That's entry. Okay? Touch. And in some way, touch, guys, really disarms people. So I'm going to do say entry. Okay? We got the entry. And then the different approaches are there. But entry allows you to call a welcome. I'm in. Is it in a home or wherever it's at the greeting? That is such a real place that you want to be, that you will be able to break the way in. And this approach never changes. So entry, everybody shake their hand out. Entry. And you do this here because why? I'm hearing, I'm seeing, and guess what? I'm doing. So entry gives me a body memory. So I'm remembering this is a step for my system. Entry is get the appointment if I'm on the phone. Entry, get in the house and sit to the table. Entry will come in different various ways, but what entry does is gives you an agreement to go further. If you never get the entry, you don't get the agreement to go further. Now, in this COVID environment here, you may not get the handshake. You may have to do the bump, okay? You may have to do the fist bump, but whatever that may be, but you have to get the entry to get the agreement. And the entry is very important, guys, because this here builds a common agreement that says, I want to go one step further. If you don't get the welcome, then chances are you may not be able to finish to have the conversation. So once you enter, what's the next step we're going to do? We're going to qualify them. Okay? Qualify. What that means is that I'm going to get into the heart. And this is qualified right here because it's an area of the heart. This is where if you study, the heart is always set up with our emotions. It's set up with our feelings. People say, well, get out your feelings or get out your heart, But the heart always deals with your feelings. So if you're dealing with your feelings, so what you want to do is emotionally connect, emotionally qualify with your clients. So I'm going to emotionally connect with them here. So what does that mean? I'm going to have small talk. I'm going to have some things that they can see eye to eye with. And this is so important, guys, before you start to selling. This is not selling. This is setting up the place to start selling. So my 7 phases is to get me to a place where I can start to effectively communicate using my dialogues. I can effectively communicate using my presentations, using my multimedia presentation, using my PowerPoints. Whatever the tools are that I brought with me, this is what this allowed me to do. So I'm going to entry, and I'm going to qualify with them. That's the second step, and that's under number 2. And then, entry at qualified, I reach the heart. Okay, flipping the page to page 11. And then once we get there, and that's called step 3, and that's going to be called, what we call it, you call it the sharp angle. Okay, what's that sharp angle for? It is to head off the questions, to be able to answer the things they have, to turn them to where you want to do, because sharp angles allow me to move into the driver's seat. Okay, sharp angle will allow me to get into where I can control. So the step 3 is a sharp angle, and what it is, it says, step 3 is essentially in bilateral agreement, a bilateral agreement that takes this form. If I could show you how, would you? So now, if I could show you how, would you? If you get that, and guess what when you do that, what are you doing with your head? Right? Subliminally, you're asking the question, if I could show you how you can get your home sold in the time you want and get get you to where you want to go in that, but get your home sold the quickest amount, most convenient amount of time, and what you sign with me today. And you go and they say, sure, would you list with me today? They say, sure, would you commit with me today? Sure. And if they say yes, guess what you do? You one step closer to closing. If they're ready to sign the contract, you pull your contract out. But chances are right there, you're just actually going to a place where you're asking a question that deals with an objection. That's a great place of objection. They'll come through and you would give a sharp angle and you will go to a close, because that is actually a closing statement, sharp angle. If I could with you, it's a bilateral agreement, the sharp angle close. And the third step would be for you, is the sharp angle. I just did the sharp angle. I'm sorry, I did the sharp angle. Didn't show it to you. Sharp angle, if I could with you. The fourth step will be the problem. So, now, well, I would let you come by and see the home, but it's really dirty. And I remember the guy told me it's really dirty and I want to clean some things up before I actually put it on the market. So I had to know how to handle the objection. I had to know how to keep going to the close, because my job is to get in front of the seller. My job is to sit at the table and go over the contract and go to the presentation if necessary to get the listing. My job is to do all that work with them. So your job as an agent is to get to the table where you actually do down and you sign the contracts. So the things you're doing here, your 4 steps was entry, qualify, sharp angle. I'm left-handed, guys. I'm trying to do a right-handed for you guys, but it's not working out that well. And the problem. I understand the problem and offering the solution. Understand the problem and offering the solution. So the fifth thing would be for you on your 7-step phase is offering the solution. Well, the solution would say it this way. Presentation, presentation, presentation. So when I'm at the solution, I said, well, great, good you say that. Let me sit down and show you how I'm going to get the job done. Remember, you got 25 slides to help deal with the solution to their problem. Now, when I emotionally qualified, I knew why they wanted to sell. I knew when they wanted to sell by. I knew where they wanted to go. I knew that they needed the money for whatever that stuff is. So in the emotional side, I'm asking all the questions, and what I'm doing is I'm qualifying, I'm getting them here, and I'm meeting them here. So once I know all of the reasons why, I call them hot buttons. I know their passion points. And whenever I'm presenting to them, I give them all the passion points back in my dialogue. Same scripting, but I add their reasons into my explanation to solve their problem. And I show them how I, with my team, can get the job done in the quickest, most convenient time to get them to wherever their places they're looking to go, or wherever their need they have to get met because the finances being released from their home or the obligations from their home. So that is the solution. So I entry, qualify, problem, solution, and then what's the next step? Signature. Because if I do an effective job at selling my presentation, my professional services, my 7-phase marketing plan, and knowing my dialogue, I've answered all the questions through my 25 slides if necessary. Now I can move to place I can get the signature. I say, other than that, Mr. Seller, is there any reason why you would hesitate with listing your home with me today? And I go, and they say, no. Great. Well, let's get started. And then what price would you like to list your home at? And then they can say whatever they want to say at that point. Remember, I'm not there to price the home. I'm there to get to commitment. So if I do that effectively, they say, well, I want to sell it for $1 million. I say, great. Well, let's write that $1 million in here and go ahead and just okay right here. Put your signature here. Then on this page, I walk up to where to sign that, and they go, boom. If they don't ask me about commissions, we'll talk about commissions next time. Okay? I want the commitment. Now, we know that that contract can be canceled at any time. Is that correct? So being that I know that the contract can be canceled, it's okay that I don't have it all filled out yet. What I want is a written commitment. Now they're committed with me, and guess what? I go off and I prepare my CMA, and I come back to price the property, and I flood them with information as much as necessary. So if I use this proven system here, guess what? When I come back to the price, I'm already hired. I mean that they've already hired me, and I'm in a place where I have the commitment. No other agent, they come back, the agent call them next and says, hey, you want to come out and see the home? Or we already signed with an agent. No more apartments. Guess who's going to get the listing? Guess who have the listing? I showed them my presentation. I did my multimedia video. I had the great dialogue with them. I answered all their questions. I showed them the solution, and they know that I'm the professional that they want to hire because they've signed the commitment to work with me. Now I go to work for them because I, like you, never work for free. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the home priced at the current market value and get full commission. That's my goal, to get the house priced for market value with full commission. Now let me ask a question here. This is where you got to be sharp at. When they ask you, what do you think my home is worth? What are you going to say? To me, what I think is irrelevant. Your home is worth what the current buyer is willing to pay for it. Wouldn't you agree? I would never offer the price to home. I said, when I'm going to come back and flood you with information so you can select the right price for your home. I'm going to give you enough information on the neighborhood, then you're going to choose the price that you want, so that whenever it come up, the friend or someone says, man, your house is overpriced or too low, priced too low on market, they say, oh no, I did the research. I priced the home here, and nobody ever challenged your pricing if you do a great job. So what we're going to do next week, we're going to pick up on chapter 6. And chapter 6 is where we're going to go in. Actually, I'm going to go into chapter 4, chapter 4. So you guys can skip ahead, another dialogues here, and that's going to be on page number 25, and that's qualifying the seller. Because I think it's so important right now. I think we all should be pursuing listings as much as possible. Buyers are plentiful now because there's no properties out there. Let's get some listings because, as Mike said, listings come pregnant. They always have 3 or 4 babies with them. So make sure that you start rehearsing your seller script, because you're going to be doing a lot of presentations in the next 3 months. You're going to have a lot of listings coming on board, and I think I can see everybody on this call going to have 5 to 6 or 7 listings going on in the next 90 days, because they're going to apply the principles of what we're teaching here through Real Estate Selling Powers. Now, guys, this course is for everyone. So if you know any agents that are not currently with your company, my company's EXP, invite them to the call. They get a free session. They don't get the materials. They don't get the things that we have, but they can hear what we're teaching here. But my goal is to help you guys win over the next 90 days. If you're with me and you apply the principles, I believe that I can help you grow your business to a scalable level, and your systems, your dialogue, and everything will be in place. You'll be hitting 2021 running. Your business is going to explode next year. I can see everyone on this call selling 40 houses next year because of the systems that they're going to apply this season with the system of Real Estate Selling Power. As you guys know, that I'm Kelvin Verrett. I'm your coach, I'm your trainer, and I'm your biggest supporter. So whatever you guys need, in the chat box is my phone number and my email address. Reach out to me. If I can help you, I'll help you. But my goal is to help you win. So at this point here, I'm going to shut down, and I'm going to open up the mics here, and I'm answering the questions that you guys may have and about the training today. And unmute yourself, everyone. Any questions about the training, things we covered today?
I have a question, Calvin.
Yes, Star.
Have you noticed have you experienced it being harder at all to talk to people lately with the current situation, with the politics and everything?
In the area of buyers and sellers?
Well, just, you know how you're supposed to talk to 3 people a day when you go out and stuff?
Yeah. Well, I myself haven't experienced it. And because I always talk about the weather, I talk about football, I talk about things that's common to most people. I never even bring up real estate unless I'm doing do you take referrals? They tell me in their business, do you take referrals? And I want to give them something. And then if I want to give them something, then in turn I say, well, do you know anyone do you have a good agent? And then I ask them for something in return. And most time I don't have the resistance. But when people don't respond, because I'm friendly, I speak there, hey, how you doing? And a lot of people don't pay no attention to it. But that's okay. I just reach out to someone else.
I guess that's my point.
Yeah, I get that.
They're not paying attention, or they're not responding to you.
Yeah, we're in a volatile time now, and
Right.
and just and when I say that, real estate, not just real estate, but in life itself, and you just got to keep moving and go through enough people that don't let that one person stop you from being friendly and engaging other people. Just say some will, some won't. Next. And just keep doing that, but make sure you make your 3 contacts and get the numbers.
It's getting harder. It's just
So-
lately I've noticed.
So what you're gonna do is
like I don't even want to try anymore.
but don't let that discourage you. Remember, you know your why. And I think last week I dropped the goal sheets in there. If your why is big enough, it's gonna be greater than the pain of them rejecting you. It's just rejection. That's what you're feeling. So just override the objections and keep asking, keep seeking, and keep knocking. You're gonna be okay. Just don't let another person's don't let another person's opinion becomes your reality. So you're a value add to everyone they need your service. In fact, real estate is essential to the lifeblood of our country. So if that person not interested, someone else is. So just keep going through the numbers. It's a numbers game. Thank you,
And then I
Stella.
have one more question.
Yes.
I tried to find last week's meeting, the class, because I had to leave early, but I wasn't able to find it, and I looked on your YouTube page. Is it there?
You know what? I think I sent it to Amanda, but if not, I will send the class. I'll send it to Amanda. I have it. I'll send it to Amanda, and you'll make sure you get the copy of it.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Anyone else? Nothing? Well, all right then. Well, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the class and we covered the things that was there. And it's a value add. This is my first time out the gate with the real estate selling power systems. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I had a value add. And as always, I say to you, always come expecting to pick up at least one nugget that will change the trajectory of your business or add value to what it is that you're currently doing. And I appreciate you guys. As always, I'm Kelvin Verrett, your coach, your trainer, your friend in real estate. We'll see you guys next week at 2 o'clock. Bring a friend and let's continue learning through real estate selling systems. And also, guys, we have World Cappers Credit Repair. Credit Repair. We have World Cappers website where you can go in and find out real estate selling power if you want to know anything about the dialogues and things that's there. We have, what else we have? We have the Tribe, World Campus Facebook group. We have Rev Share Realtors. If you want to know about the company, about the business, what we're doing, the Tribe, the resources, go to Rev Share. Amanda the Traveling Realtor. That's it. Or Rev Share Realtor. I think that's one also. And Sally will drop it in the chat box for us. I think we have it there. But other than that, no questions from me, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the class, and I will see you next week. This has been awesome. It's a privilege and a pleasure of being online with you guys and just walking you through this next 90-day journey. Your goal this 90 days is a minimum of 5 listings. Okay, 5 minimum. Now, I think you can do 10. But we're going to give you the systems. I'm going to drop a tip every week that's going to help you catapult your business. Circle prospecting was a tip this week. Get in there. Mike said it. Get your form. There's no houses. You got clients under contract. The keys under contract. Go and create a listing for them. Make them phone calls and ask the sellers that's not on market, would they be interested in taking an offer from your buyer? Know what your buyers want and call all the houses in the neighborhood they wanted in. And guess what? You would get a deal, guaranteed. Next week, we'll have another tip for you guys. All right, thank you guys. All right. All right, thank you guys. God bless you.
The Facebook is, what is called the Facebook?
It's called World Cappers Facebook group.
EXP.
EXP World Cappers Facebook group. I think it's World Cappers, but it may say EXP World Cappers.
Cappers EXP.
Oh, World Cappers EXP. And that's where all the resources are. Everything that we do is in there. Okay? All righty, guys. Thank you, guys.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Have a great week.
Bye, everybody.
And sell plenty of houses, get many contracts, and don't work for free. Bye-bye, Garcia. All right. Bye-bye.
I gotta get rid of my subconscious.
Yes. Okay, then. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Let me see if I can get my computer turned around here. All right. See you guys later.